Welcome into the 2022 playoff preview show presented by National Grid. I'm your host, Emma Carman, joined alongside Alex, Venero and Brea Lassek. Ladies, how are we doing this afternoon?
Well, doing great. It's a beautiful day out here, beautiful day for baseball. We're going to get to cover that later, so super excited to be out here.
Yeah, playoff time, everything is on the line, so it can't get more exciting.
Both your first summers here in the Cape, an amazing experience, absolutely flown by, as I mentioned. Alex, what was your favorite part of this summer?
I think my favorite part was the opportunity to work for the league, to get to go to all 10 teams and to make connections at all of those and really be able to work with all the programs and see what the league has to offer for interns and for players as well.
Brea, as I mentioned, here at McKeon Park, home of the Hyannis Harbor Hawks, your home. What has it been like being able to work for this team?
Yeah, the Harbor Hawks organization is second to none. Everyone from, the staff up top to all the players, all the other interns. I mean, these relationships are something that I'm going to keep forever. It's just been amazing being here almost every night, interacting with players from not only all over the country, but all over the world.
As I mentioned, regular season is over as we head into playoffs tonight. Alex, Brea, and I are going to take you through the standings in the East, the West, some players to look for, and what this next week is going to look like. Starting out is the West Division, where they will have the Bourne Braves, the Cotuit Kettleers, the Hyannis Harbor Hawks, and the Falmouth Commodores. Then we head to the East, where they have the Brewster Whitecaps, the Yarmouth Dennis Red Sox, the Orleans Firebirds, and the Harwich Mariners. Brea, we'll start with you. 1-4 seed for the West. We have the Braves, we have the Commodores. The Braves just came off a President's Trophy win last night after Yarmouth Dennis lost. They're the first team since 2012 with back-to-back President's Trophy. What are these Commodores going to have to do to try to take the series here?
Yeah, Emma, there really isn't a hotter team on the Cape right now than the Bourne Braves. They're 8-1-1 in their last 10 games and haven't lost since July 22nd. They're led by Matt Shaw, who's, the league batting champ, the highest batting average. Evan Slight's in there too, Chris Brito. They all bring the power, but they also have a great pitching staff. That's why they are in such close games, especially with Falmouth, who they're taking on tonight. Every single game that Falmouth and Bourne have played have resulted in just a one-run margin. So look for a close game tonight, and Falmouth will definitely have to control those Bourne hitters.
So with Bourne, they have Scott Landers, first year as a field manager. What do you think he's doing out there that's, making them so good this season? And as you mentioned, one of the hottest teams in the Cape.
Yeah, Landers came from Brewster as their pitching coach, and so that's definitely translated for the Braves. They have the best team ERA in the Cape League right now, so definitely a lot going on in that pitching staff. That's great. Seth Keener's going to take the mound tonight. He has a 1.87 ERA. He's been really good for the Braves so far this season.
A great Wake Forest product to look for. As you mentioned, the Falmouth Commodores will take on the Bourne Braves tonight at 6 p.m. Alex, off we go to the East Division. 1 versus 4 is going to be the Brewster Whitecaps versus the Harwich Mariners. So Brewster got this 1 seed because last night the Yarmouth Dennis Red Sox lost, which means that Brewster and YD's record is 2-2-2. That's what most of the stats look at. And then if you go to their tying record, you go to the next stat, which is best record against the East, and that's where the Whitecaps take it home. But with the Mariners and the Whitecaps, what are we going to have to look for here, and what players are going to be key to success?
Emma, this is definitely going to be a tough matchup for the Mariners. You're coming off playing the champions from last year. So, the Whitecaps are going to come in, they're here to play, and they're here to win because they have that energy behind them, and head coach Jamie Shevchuk is definitely bringing that energy too. He's been here for 6 seasons. He's won 2 of those 6 seasons, and so he's going to bring that energy with him. On the offense, you've got people like Grayson Tatro, Curtis Byrne, who's the T-Mobile Week 7 Player of the Week, and they're going to lead that Brewster offense. People like Brennan Oxford on the mound who are going to lock it down, so it's going to be really important for the Mariners that they can hold the Whitecaps in on their defense. Now, for the Harwich Mariners, they're going to have to lock down that Brewster lineup from the defensive side. On the other side of things, the Mariners are really going to take the plate, and Brewster's going to have to lock him down from the mound. You have 2 of the biggest power hitters on the Cape in that Harwich lineup, Nick Goodwin, Joe Vitrano, and those 2 are going to be key players for the lineup today when they take on Brewster at 4 p.m.
Brea, now we go to the 2-3 seed for the West. We have the Cotuit Kettleers versus your own Hyannis Harbor Hawks. Both teams super hot right now. What are the Harbor Hawks going to have to do to defeat the Cats in the best-of-3 series?
Well, Emma, you can't really ask for a better start to the playoffs than a rivalry series, Cotuit versus Hyannis. It's a tale as old as times. Cotuit already won the Patriots Cup this season, but Hyannis won the last matchup between the two, 7-3, really blowing that one open. So you don't really know what you're going to get with this matchup, but what I do know is Mitch Jebb is hot for the Harbor Hawks right now. He has an on-base percentage of .583 in the last 7 days, and he's really gotten hot at the right time. He's definitely a candidate for the Cape League MVP this year, but that hot streak for him started against Cotuit, which just happens to be his former team. So a little bit of a revenge tour for Mitch Jebb in this playoff game. And on the other side for the Kets, you have big sluggers like Tommy Troy, Carter Trice. They both lead the team in home runs, and this is a Cotuit team that leads the league in slugging percentage, second in home runs. So you could see a lot of balls flying out of Lowell Park tonight.
Super exciting 2-3 matchups we have both on the East and the West, but be sure to tune in to all the live streams tonight for our first night of playoffs. Alex, 2-3 seeds in the East will be the Orleans Firebirds and the Yarmouth Dennis Red Sox. You know, those Firebirds have defeated the Red Sox 3 times this season, lost twice, tied twice. What is YD going to have to do to make it to the second round of playoffs here?
Yeah, I think, Emma, the key to success for YD is to be behind their offense. You have Cole Carrick, he's got the 3rd best batting average in the league. Brandon Montgomery, who was a July activation, and he's really come out as one of their stars on the plate, and that's definitely going to be something that the YD offense can get behind. And on the other side of things for the Orleans Firebirds, they have their offensive powerhouse, Luke Keyshaw. He's going to be hitting balls all over the park for that YD defense tonight. And you have Bryce Werricker, who's a demon on the mound. He's going to really pose a challenge for those YD hitters. And, you know, I was talking to our PR director, Michael Lane, and he was telling me that the YD Red Sox have never lost a playoff series to the Orleans Firebirds, so that's definitely some kind of energy that they're going to bring in, really going to pose a challenge for that Orleans mentality tonight.
You mentioned late additions. You know, it's been crazy this summer, I have to say. With the draft in mid-July, with Team USA now, you know, a lot of movement with these rosters, whether it's been late ads, people leaving early, a little bit of everything. What do you think these teams have had to go through and the adversity that they've had to push through with all this change?
Yeah, you know what, Emma, that is something that every single team on the Cape has had to deal with. It's not just one or two, but really dealing with that environment and atmosphere. I mean, the season starts here in mid-June, and, you know, 1 month later, if you have draft-eligible players who are going to go off because they get that draft call, that definitely creates a little bit of something that teams have to deal with, creating that cohesion, that team environment, that team atmosphere, and that's just something that everybody on the Cape has really had to deal with this season.
Brea, you've seen it firsthand here at McKeon Park, you know, a part of the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. You've talked to coaches, you've talked to players. What has your experience been like with the changes throughout the summer?
Yeah, I think if you look at that 2-3 matchup in the West tonight, it just shows this challenge that all these teams are facing. You have Cotuit, who started out really hot this season. Then they had a lot of guys leave for the draft for Team USA. And then you have Hyannis, who was really hot during the middle part of the season. And then, you know, Hyannis also had a lot of players leave. So both of these teams are really trying to find their way now coming into the playoffs. And especially from a Hyannis standpoint, they've had quite a few players leave in the past week or two. And like Alex was saying, I mean, that's really hard to get that team cohesion going. But with these players coming in, we have probably 5 or 6 new players coming in for right before the playoff game. So, I mean, in the Cape League, definitely a big pitching league that hitters have to adjust to pretty much right when they get here, and right before the playoffs, there's no time for those adjustments. They really have no room to do that like other hitters have before throughout the season. So it's definitely going to be who is hot right now.
As we mentioned, regular season completed. We're heading into playoffs tonight. Super excited. With all those changes, though, we can't wait for our first game this evening at 4 p.m. Alex, Brea, that is all we have for this year's 2022 playoff preview show. For everyone watching, be sure to tune in to tonight's YouTube channels on all social media for all the teams to watch this exciting playoffs coming up. For Alex, Venero, Brea Lassek, everyone behind the scenes, our production crew, the Hyannis Harbor Hawks for letting us host this show, and our sponsor, National Grid, we want to thank you for all you do. Reporting from McKeon Park, Emma Carman.